We have an entire new selection of Mimighoul cards to talk about. Make sure you guys smash the like and grab out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So we're starting off over here with the Mimighoul armor. Now this is going to be a 615, which is actually not that impressive, but it does go up to 2100 underneath the dungeon, which is what I really care about here. So this is flip during the main phase, apply all these effects in sequence. So this turn, Mimighoul monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Actually, no, it's not even yours. It's just all Mimighoul monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. That's actually way better than I thought it was. And then, of course, standard give control of this card to your opponent. So this will protect your monsters from doing the thing. Now, you're going to notice some different claws on this card than the previous Mimighouls. And this is during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in face-down defense position, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card face up to your field. Oh, so did we get some cool new support that involves the extension capabilities of beaming down these monsters to your field in attack position? And yes, we did. We got some very strong new cards that you want to be doing this effect on. And then we got the Mimighoul Fairy. A lot of people were expecting this card to be coming out here as this really cool like extender for the deck, but this is the same effect as per usual. Also, these stat lines are not strong. This is going to go up to 200 attack points underneath the dungeon, so they don't want this monster doing too much for you. But your effect on this is flip, apply these effects in sequence. This turn, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summon from the hand. So the whole gimmick with this is once this card has been flipped up by your opponent, you know, as long as your opponent has face down monsters, you're going to be controlling them out of attempting to really do anything with those monsters special summoned from the hand, which is really good. And then of course you will get standard control of this card as per usual, and this has the exact same clause as the other two, which is, hey, when this is, you know, you can special this from your hand to your field, or you can special summon this to your opponent's field face down, which I'm liking this a lot. That's two monsters, one that gives you protectability and another that gives your opponent the jamming of special summons. Now, there's this one. I think this is the best one that we got today. So this is Mimighoul Slime. This is going to be the hero of your story, honestly, but flip and apply these effects in sequence. Your opponent can special summon a Mimighoul monster from the deck to their field. That's right. They have made a Mimighoul monster that gives you the ability to summon a Mimighoul monster to your field from the deck. So when you give this to your opponent, you will be gaining that effect of this, and then this will come back to your field. So now you can make an Exceed monster using those. Oh, did I give the spoiler too soon for that? Actually, yes, we did get some cool new Exceeds. So, and also remember, when it says special summon a Mimighoul monster from your deck to your field, that is not in face down defense position. That is going to be face up. And then of course, this has the exact same effect as the others. This gives you the ability to special summon it from your hand, and it also gives you the ability to special summon it to your field face up or your opponent's face down. All three of these cards are incredibly good for the extra capabilities of extending onto your field to set up. That was the stuff that I wanted to see, was I wanted this theme to get some extra deck monsters instead of the stuff that we already had going for us here, which is kind of cool. Now, they actually made the Mimighoul Throne as a card. Like, I was actually pretty impressed with this. Now, this is going to be incredibly limited in how you can make this, because it is 2 level 1 Mimighoul monsters to make. So if you're like, oh, you know, is this generic? No, it is not actually. So the effect of this is detach a material from this card, special summon a Mimighoul master from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So no matter where this thing is, you are going to get your master. Now, my only problem with this is, oh boy, it's ashable. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your searcher to get to master is now ashable. And especially if I'm dedicating 2 level 1 monsters that are Mimighouls to make this. To be fair, I don't know why you wouldn't have ashed something sooner. There's also a giant fat imperm target. But this also has an extra effect. During the main phase quick effect, you can you target one Mimighoul master you control, equip this card to it as an equip spell that gives 1,000 attack. Then you can return cards from the field to the hand up to the number of materials this card had. Now, if you are going to detach one to special summon out the master from the deck, this will be remaining on the field with one material. Alright, so basically you will get a bounce one for this. Now if you do start with the master though, you do get some larger control options with this, which in my opinion is pretty important. Alright, like you want to make sure you can have as much bounce ability / control options as you can for this. And then we got, I think, the craziest card of the day, because Giant Mimighoul has no business being this awesome looking. So you always know when you're in a dungeon, there's going to be some sort of boss monster that's going to be looming around the corners that you're going to have to be afraid of. And this is that monster. This is the predator that you have to be afraid of. Now, unlike the other one who is restricted to Mimighoul monsters to make, this one is entirely generic, and evidently you're able to make this single-handedly with dragon. Like me, you can make the other one with dragon alone. You know, the normal summon, go get the field spell, search into one of the ones that can special from the hand, and congratulations, you have your material set up for this. So your non-Xyz Mimighoul monsters can attack directly while your opponent controls a face-down monster. I like the fact that Konami's trying to push these mimicky, when a monster's face down, you can bypass it to attack your opponent directly. Ghost Tricks were kind of starting to explore a little bit of this mechanic too. In my personal opinion, I think this is good. And you can only use each of the following effects this card's name once per turn. So on Exceed Summon, you can add a Mimighoul card from your deck to your hand. This searches for Maker, this searches for, you know, the trap. This gets you into any piece that you need. And then you can detach a material from this card and then target face-up cards on the field up to the number of face-down monsters your opponent controls and destroy them. If you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each card removed. Now, this is 3,300 attack underneath Dungeon, which is insane. Also, you can target face-down cards with this to also pressure your opponent with the extra chunk of damage, which is really, really good. I like that a lot. Alright, the fact that you get this huge amount of burst damage with this is actually really good. So, this card design, I think, is really, really strong. Now, we also got Mimighoul Charm, which was our sneak peek card that we were expecting. This has a once per chain during the main phase. If a Mimighoul monster your opponent controls is flipped face up, so, you know, that little slime that you just gave them, you can flip that up, get another monster, but you can also choose a face down card from your opponent's extra deck, and if it's a monster, you can special summon that thing to your field. Now, that means that you could get a link monster that could be of use to you, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. And if it wasn't a monster that could be special summoned, banish that target. And of course, you can use this up to twice per turn. So the fact that you have a card here that gives you such crazy effects to punishing the opponent is actually kind of mind-boggling to me. Like, I find that this card is incredibly strong. Obviously, Summoning Curse can be better depending on the situation, but I'm willing to see where things go. And then, of course, Mimighoul Fork, the Pendulum or the Mimic. Which path will you choose? But it's your target one face down monster your opponent controls. Your opponent chooses one of two effects to apply. So they can change it to face up attack or defense position, which will then trigger the flip effect. Or they send it to the graveyard and its owner draws two cards. So it's a destiny draw. Cool. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Mimighoul Fork from your deck to your hand, but you can only use each effect of Mimighoul Fork once per turn. So even if you go search for that extra copy, you can't immediately apply it going into the next turn. You know, you kind of have to wait for that little refresh period for things to kind of work out in your favor. So these cards are really strong. I love these. I think that this is the first TCG theme that we've had done right in a very long time, considering the fact that the first wave of support was actually even playable at any point. So, good job with this. So, to all of you Mimighoul masters out there, I wish you a very, very dungeon raid. And, well, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.